Hello and welcome to the Ferret Business Podcast. I am your host, Yemmy the Ferret, aka Yemmy, aka DJ Yemmy. And here with me today is the person who actually thought of the name Ferret Business, so I had to get her on. She's a vlogger and a video game player who's just started out on YouTube named Vexx Exists, with her friend, Jay, who helps her while playing Life is Strange. How are you guys today?
Hey, Yemmy. I'm pretty good, thank you.
I'm pretty good too, actually.
How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I'll tell you what.
That's good to hear.
So I guess the first question is, how did you both meet?
So that's a funny one, actually. So we're both at the same university, and I was in a lot of societies. And the first thing that Jay actually came over and said to me,
I was drunk. He
was drunk, and he came over, and the first words were, "I'm not actually flirting with you or anything. I just want to talk and make friends. How are you doing?"
Yeah, pretty much it.
So I was like, oh, I kind of like this, like upfront kind of thing. So we got talking and got on great. So we met through a society at university, and here we are now.
So it wasn't that long ago then, was
2 years
it?
later.
And what's that, sorry?
It wasn't that long ago then, was it?
No, just a couple of years now. But we've seemed to get on like really well and become quite close over it.
Yeah, I think anyone who watches your videos can see that your personalities align very well. Do you have any major arguments during your friendship, or has it been pretty smooth sailing so far?
I think it's been pretty smooth. Like, we have different opinions, but we just listen to each other, and it doesn't really cause an argument. We just listen to what each other has to say.
We both know when to stop.
Yeah, I think we both know when to stop
That's
before
good.
it gets an argument.
Yeah. So we disagree a lot. We just
Yeah.
don't argue, ever.
I think we disagree every day on something. There's something every day. Something
Everything.
minor.
Everything.
Everything. Yeah, okay, like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing that we've had like any big fallouts for over. And I think you're like one of the only people that I've not had any kind of conflict or anything. Like, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was talking to Chongus Dongus in episode 4 of the podcast about his college experience, and you guys go to university, as you've already said. What is the key difference between college in the UK and college in the US?
Well, I think the UK has it set out a little bit differently as well. We kind of do years, so we do education through primary school, middle school, high school, and then we go to college, and then we go to university. And
Oh, so it's actually another step.
yeah,
I didn't know
it's-
that. Learning something new every day.
Exactly.
There you go. No, I mean, we had, I think, second year for me. Someone teaches you, because I did mechanical engineering, so it's
Okay.
quite mathsy. And I had someone who taught maths in America who came over to teach us, and she was ranting, literally ranting, about how I had to cover so much in so little time. I guess that's the thing. I don't know. She was literally ranting. It was quite annoying.
What, so did she say that it was different in America in terms of like the topics that were covered?
Well, she was saying that we couldn't do as well because we didn't have as long to cover them. So for us, it was integration, differentiation, just like kind of the basics. And she was like, "You're doing in 2 months what I would normally teach in 8." And it was like, well, that's helpful, you know. But it's got to work.
Yeah, and I think, I don't know, in all the films and things, university in America seems amazing. I don't know whether that's the case because I've not been to a university in America, but it just seems a lot more fun.
There's more exams here.
Is there?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think college and movies is a little hyped up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I didn't go to a big college. I went to a community one that's run by the city, and
no.
it's it's just like you go there and you leave. Was my college experience. And I know there's other people who they go and they drink and they party and they blah blah blah, but those are people in the small percentages. I think nowadays, I think it's more of
Yeah.
we're going, we want to get into the workforce and get our lives going before we get too old, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Oh no, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So there were no like big frat parties or anything like that.
Oh,
then, where
oh,
you-
there's big frat party. Oh, not where I went, no. But where my sister went, there was like 15 of them just right away as you walk by the school. It's just like 1, 2, 3, you know, just counting them off.
Yeah.
Jesus. So is that how it is then? So you have all the big ones. Well, when I say the big ones, because you have state-owned and private, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And then the private ones have all like the massive frat parties.
Yeah,
And then the
pretty much.
Ones. Okay, that's interesting. Never knew that.
Yeah, I think in the UK it's pretty much like standard. Like, I know universities over here have a lot of societies that you can get involved in. I don't know whether that's the same for America, but all the societies that you can get involved in, there's like sports, academic, leisure, and they're like a big thing over here
Well,
in a lot of universities.
I believe the frats are just kind of like off-school housing that are privately set up by the students. So it's not like it. You know, this house is specifically for marching band people. This one's specifically for this people. Although people do kind of, you know, tend to go to the same group. But it's close.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Like, you find something new out every day.
There we go.
Yeah.
So living in the United Kingdom is obviously very different from the U.S. What is both your general thoughts on the U.S. coming from an outsider's perspective?
Well, I've actually been to the US a couple of times, and I loved it there. Like, the people seem so much nicer than the UK. I walked in America, in New York and Boston, and I had people come over and talk to me, and were really friendly. And in the UK, you don't get that as much. I don't know whether that's an accurate representation, but from my experience, people seem friendlier.
Everyone's just silent here.
Yeah, everyone's
like-
silent here.
You're on a train. You're there to get somewhere, not out to talk.
And it's scary when someone does talk to you.
It is. Someone listen to my music.
When I tried to do that in London and got spoke to.
Oh my god.
I know. But then if I was spoken to in America, I wouldn't have the fear and be like, oh, what does this person want? Are they trying to mug me? In New York, it was a nice experience.
Well, that's good. I always like my country to have a good foot forward for people.
Yeah. What about you? What are your expectations for the UK
Well,
compared to America?
you know, I always thought when I was a kid that you go to Britain and there's, you know, a bagpipe player around every corner and there's Sherlock Holmes quotes being thrown out everywhere. But, you know, a lot of the movies you see, it's just like Britain's gray. That's pretty much it.
I think that's pretty accurate, to be honest. Grey Britain.
Yeah, and then can't deal with floods.
Yeah. Any kind of extreme weather, no matter how minor, it's something major in the UK. Get a bit of rain, everything stops working. Get a bit of snow, everything stops working.
Oh,
Get a bit of sunshine.
Get a bit of sunshine, we complain.
So, I'm gonna get a little political here, nothing too extreme, but there's a lot of stuff happening in the U.S. with gun control, and we got the big orange guy in the office right now, and a lot of people are kind of angry about whatever he does. But I think the only thing that I can compare what we're going through right now for you guys is the UK exiting from the British Union, and with you guys being young adults, what are your thoughts on the exit?
I don't like it
Yeah.
purely because I want to travel, and not having to get a visa to go around Europe is useful.
Yeah.
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 That's pretty much the main thing for me.
And the uncertainty as well.
There is a bit of uncertainty.
There's a lot of uncertainty.
There is, isn't there?
Yeah, but then again, we were having like a sort of similar discussion a couple of days ago with Jay actually, and we were just talking about politics and things, and a lot of it, people assume that it's really black and white, and if you're for one thing, you can only see that one way, but it's not as black and white as people make it out, is it really?
No.
There's a lot of other things, but yeah, at the minute I think it's in a bit of a mess.
Oh yeah.
Personally.
The government wasn't expecting a Brexit result. To be
No.
honest, they hadn't planned for it at all.
No.
They
Yeah.
fully thought we were going to stay,
But now we get to wait and see what happens.
Oh boy. The waiting is the hardest part, that's for sure.
Oh, totally, yeah.
So, I was watching the last elections you guys had, and there is a guy named, was it Lord Buckethead who's in the running? Who was in the running?
Probably.
I just remember that kind of becoming popular over here. Everyone was kind of like, hey, it's Lord Buckethead. We'd vote for him if we lived in the UK.
Well, there's lots of like protest parties over here,
Yeah.
I guess. I'm gonna quickly search Lord Buckethead.
Well, I guess while you're doing that, I just want to ask, with all the strange food names in Britain, like the speckled dick and the bubble and squeak, what's the strangest food you have eaten, whether it's been in Britain or in Europe or in the United States?
The strangest thing. I think for me, like the other day, I had a deep fried Mars bar, and that was kind of strange. I didn't know what I expected from it, but it was nicer than what I thought it'd be. I guess that's my strange experience. What about you, Jay?
I'm not very exotic. I want I want one of them. They're Scottish, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. They sound good. But no.
And speaking of strange combinations as well, just before this podcast, me and Jay actually went to the chip shop and we had fish chips and gravy.
Is that strange?
Well, yeah. To other places, it's more strange.
Yeah, in
Okay.
America, we tend to put tartar sauce on fish and chips. And over
Yeah.
there, I guess you guys have a gravy.
We have gravy.
Gravy, it's way good. It's
And-
northern as well. Like,
Yeah.
You don't get that around London area.
No, it is a northern
impossible.
thing. But the reason why we did that is because in the Discord earlier, as you know, Yemmy, we were talking about it and kind of just made us want it.
It did.
So before the podcast, we were like, yeah, let's go to the chip shop, get fish chips and gravy.
Children's portions. for the
Children's
grown-ups.
portion.
Well, speaking of strange British words, it's time to play Define That Slang Game.
Oh.
This is the game where I have 3 slang terms from America and 3 from the United Kingdom, and you guys try to define them.
Okay then.
Are you
We're
ready?
Yeah.
We
So,
got this.
I got 3 American terms first, and then we'll do the British ones after that.
Okay.
So number 1, drive up the wall.
I know this one. It's when you like annoy someone, you're driving them up the wall.
Yeah.
Ding, that's right.
Yeah.
Number 2, give it your John Hancock.
I'm gonna guess give it your best shot or something
Yeah.
like that. Like, try your hardest.
Well, it's for writing down your signature on a contract. So, back when the Constitution was originally signed back in 1700s, the biggest signature on the Declaration of Independence is John Hancock's signature. So that's where that term comes from, because he did this giant fancy one, and everyone remembers his name now. So he's very famous over here.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
Nice backstory to attain.
I would have never guessed that.
No, same.
Number 3 is riding shotgun.
Like, passenger seat.
Yeah, passenger seat of a car.
There
Yeah.
you go. I should have switched number 2 and 3 because I thought that was going to be the hardest one.
Well, no, we call shotgun over here sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't think all over the UK. It's just in certain places. There's some, because there's some people from uni that didn't know what it meant.
Really?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
All right, so now we got the 3 British terms. And actually, I had Player 2 on the podcast before you guys, and he actually missed almost all of the British terms. So, let's see how it goes. So the first one is eating irons.
Eating irons.
Oh, I commonly use this.
Eating
No
irons.
idea.
I don't know.
It's a
like-
fork.
It sounds like a slang word for braces.
It's something you eat with. It's a fork. Your cutlery.
Yeah.
Number 2, odds and sods.
Like bits and pieces, random. I can't explain it. I'm bad at explaining.
I feel like it's to do with socks. I don't know why.
The term, the definition I found was miscellaneous.
Yeah, so like bits and pieces.
Yeah.
It's another word for bits and pieces,
got
but I
that.
just couldn't say it. I can't describe it. I'm
Well-
bad at this.
You're pretty Nah, you're doing well.
And then finally, number 3. Take the Mickey.
Well, wait, take the piss.
When you, yeah.
Like,
When you take the mickey out of someone when you mimic them.
Yep, that's the teaser mock.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, that's the end of define that slang. You guys got,
Oh, no.
I think you guys got 5 out of 6, right?
Yay!
there is 2 of us, so you got a half score.
No, we get the full score.
All right. So I think the next question I have is specifically for Vexx. Where did Vexx Exists come from?
Well, this is it. I spoke about YouTube with Jay quite a bit ago, and we never set it up. And we started like brainstorming ideas for names, and I kind of liked the sound of it, so I kind of wanted the kind of sound, so went with Vexx, and then Exist because you have all these YouTubers that have the name and that have something after it, like plays, does, whatever. And
Oh,
I thought,
okay.
well, I exist, so let's go with that.
So does that kind of
So-
tie into the vlogs then? That, you know, hey, I'm here, I exist, I'm on camera.
Yeah, I guess so as well. Yeah, I could use it for that.
I'm a solid 90% sure it also sounded a bit like Exorcist.
Oh yeah, and I found out that it did a bit like Exorcist, and that was pretty cool too. So I was like, why not?
So you had mentioned the Discord server earlier, and that's a chrono-sized Discord server. And I'm a recent mod on there. I'm trying my best right now. But what's the hardest part of being a mod for you on his server?
I think the hardest part is because it's like a growing community. It's an amazing server, and there's a lot of people in it. So even though we've not really had much negative stuff from it, if any, it's just hard to keep in like control of everyone that's in there. But it's also a positive because it's growing as well.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know what else. I really enjoy it, and I enjoy the people that are there as well.
Well, that's
Everyone
good.
seems really nice.
I know I like to
Yeah.
spam Chronoside's links and images with my pets. Do either of you have any pets?
Yeah, I do, and I'm just gonna say as well, your dog is so cute.
Thank you.
Every time you post a picture, I'm just like, oh,
It is pretty cute.
yeah. So in terms of pets, I've got a dog which I post all over my Twitter. I love my dog so much. She's called Candy. We got her on the 7th of the 7th, 2007. She's my lucky little doggo. And she's a miniature Bichon Frise, which is part of the poodle family, but I'm going to say she's cuter. And I love her so much, but she's so cheeky. Like, if I'm not giving her enough attention, she'll go and attention seek. So if I'm in one room and my mum's in another room, and we're talking, she'll go and shut the door in between us and sit in front of it and look at me, as if to say, no, give me attention instead.
Smart dog.
Smart dog. And every time I'm home, I wake up with her, literally centimetres from my face. That's how she wakes me up. She just gets really close. And I can feel her tail hitting me, and I'm like, right, the dog wants me to get up now. Guess we're getting up.
I've got a pet snake, which is a
Ooh.
bit of a but it's groovy. It's nice.
I got 3 geckos, so no weirder.
There you go.
I saw them. Your geckos are cute as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We had a kind of a weird story how we got the snake as well, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was good.
So, the story behind the snake. Do you want to tell it, Jay? Go on, go for it.
So we were both. Well, we were just having lunch together. We were both procrastinating. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like, we were just
Doing
Yeah.
uni work, but getting
Yeah.
food instead.
pretty much. And then we thought, why not get a snake now?
Yeah.
This very second.
Hadn't been spoken about
No.
before. Just mentioned
No.
that I used to have a bearded dragon and that I like snakes, and you said you like snakes, and said should
Buy
we
a
just
snake.
go and buy one? And
Why not?
I
Great
wasn't.
investment.
Yeah, I wasn't going to discourage that behaviour. I told you that. I said, if you want me to say no, don't ask me. And we
That's
went.
why I asked.
Yes.
And you would say yeah.
And we went and bought the snake. And now
much.
that's at uni, hidden away because you're not allowed snakes at uni.
Oh.
Yeah. I got a little email about an inspection, and I literally just cover it with everything I've got. So you can't
Just
see.
put a towel on the tank.
Yeah.
And you've
And
also
my
got a
duvet.
dog.
And I'm multi-petted. That's the word for sure.
Hey, the more pets, the better.
What one's better?
The more the pets.
Oh, yeah, the
the more
more the
better.
better. Yeah, definitely. Oh, the pets.
Pets are definitely better.
Yeah.
My dog's a cockapoo, which is a great name. It's a cocker spaniel mixed with a poodle.
Oh, okay.
And that
okay.
dog's cute as well.
It's dead cute. So good. I don't get to see it too much though, because that's at like home, and
Not uni.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So Jay, are you
Get so many more pets.
I did
Go on, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Jay, are you educated on Lord Buckethead now?
a little bit. He's an intergalactic space lord, apparently.
According to Wikipedia.
Yeah, which is a great
The
source.
reliable source wiki.
From the comedy Hyperspace. Never heard of that.
Are you on the right thing?
No idea. It's Lord Buckethead. It says Lord
It
Buckethead.
also says Wikipedia. Haven't your university studies taught you anything?
Electoral history. I am on the right thing, and none of this is source, so it's definitely all right.
Oh.
All right. Well, final question for today.
Yeah.
You guys are playing Life is Strange together.
Yeah.
So, how has your experience been with that game?
Oh, I absolutely love it. And I think from my Let's Plays, I get too into it. I get too emotionally involved in Life is Strange. But I love it. I love the soundtrack as well. And I love...
It's better now as expecting. Like,
Yeah, a lot
I
better.
wasn't sure.
Because I've managed to avoid it. And I think you have too. Before playing it, managed
Oh,
to
yeah,
avoid
no,
it. Yeah.
completely,
So
yeah.
we had no spoilers going into it. And I really love it. I like all the twists and turns that it has. I like the soundtrack. I like the characters. I just really like the game.
Yeah.
Are there any American terms that you don't understand in the game so far, or you guys have gotten on top of it?
I think they're all, I kind of understand all of them because,
We were thinking
Yeah.
about it earlier, actually.
yeah, there's none that spring to mind where I thought, oh,
Yeah. Because in context, they're
yeah,
like
it's easy enough to work out if there is anything.
fathomable.
Yeah.
So if you two had the power to rewind time, how would you use that power?
Oh, I'll let you go first so I can think.
I would sit through an exam, memorize all the questions, then go back.
Tactically, yeah. I think I'd use mine to sleep more and just be like, let's just have a few more hours because I don't sleep a lot anyway. Just rewind that, have a bit of a lie-in so I'm not forced to get up when I actually sleep.
So neither of us would help other people. It just
No,
completely
yeah.
self-centered. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I might think about helping people later, but sleep, you know.
Priorities.
What about you? What would you do, Yemmy?
Oh, you know what? I'd probably just I don't even know. Like everything that I did that was cringeworthy was back in high school, and her powers don't rewind that far. So I'm not sure. Maybe I would just rewind the afternoons so that I have an unlimited afternoon for just doing whatever
Yeah.
I wanted.
Oh, that'd be nice. More time. Need more time.
Time is short.
All right. Well, I think that's all the time we have for today on the podcast. I just want to thank Vexx Exists and her friend Jay for coming on and talking to me. It's been a pleasure, guys.
Yeah, likewise, Yemmy. Thanks for having us. It's been brilliant talking.
It's been fun. It's been
Yeah,
fun.
a lot of fun.
The links to their YouTube account and their Twitter account will be down below in the description, of course. And yeah, is there anything else you guys would like to add?
No, just thanks for having us on, really. It's been lovely.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am Yemmy the Ferret, your host, the one and only. And this has been the Ferret Business Podcast.